Batra Daf Kuf Lamin Rimal, 7 lines down. Maravuna. Shechib Mina Shakdav Nochad Acher. So like that guy who's dying with all his property to someone else. Ro'in, we check it out. Imra Uliyarsha, if he's supposed to want it, he's supposed to inherit him. No, tell me Shum Yerusha, he takes it as inheritance. Bim Lav, if not, let me Shum Tanai, he gets it as a gift. The part is Marmar Leira Rahman. Ganu V'Genev Adamalach. Why are you trying to cheat the system? Because why? Why are you seemingly taking the concept of Recham Meroka who allows you to give away inheritance and seemingly saying your own name? You're stealing the line. This is the halacha. Mar says, this is what he meant to say. That who the have a shachir, the guy who's dying. They asked him, who do you want to give your property to? Dima Lepanya, do you want to give it to Shimon? Amar lahu, and he answers back, Elman, who else? Yani, yes. Amar la and Allah. And if Huna was saying in that case, Imra Uli Yashod, Natalim Shema Yoshavim, Nalam Natalim Yoshav. On that, if he was supposed to inherit him, he gets it as inheritance. If not, he gets it as a gift. Amar la, when it says back to him, In Hachi Kamin, that's exactly what I meant. Mayachta, who cares why he gets inheritance or prison? What's the difference? This is as follows. Imra Uli Shulam Manato, and Nizam Min Nechasab. If he gets it as inheritance, the widow gets supported. But if it's get as a gift, the widow does not get any support. The widow should lose out. How does that make sense? If in a case of inheritance, the Torah forces you to give the support to the widow. According to Chachamim, where you give a gift, the widow should lose out. How does that make sense? The Gemara says, according to the case, where the guy says, okay, his property should go to Reuben, and then after Reuben, it should go to Shimon. If the first guy is supposed to inherit him, the second guy can't take it from the first guy after the first guy dies. If it goes to the first guy's inheritance. Because this was a gift. It was not a gift, rather inheritance. And inheritance doesn't get switched off. Says to him, but the guy did interrupt it. He said, after Reuven, it should go to Shimon. The guy thought that it could be interrupted, but the Torah says, can't interrupt it. Right? Oops. I got told his friend, my property should go to you, and then Shimon. The first guy was supposed to inherit him. The first guy died. The second guy said, my turn. The second guy said, maybe you should get it. He says, no. You're thinking, he was thinking about splitting it. He said, "Oh, these people judges who don't know what to do. They do splits because they don't know, so they compromise." He says, "Lav we know the halacha is that you don't start interrupting inheritances. It stays with the first guy." Ichasif usually became upset and embarrassed. He says, "No, don't be embarrassed because I'm Hashem who will help you in the time of need." Which means he's like, "I know you don't usually make mistakes. That happens to be Hashem allowed you to make a mistake. Well, I'm here so I could help you." If someone writes over his property to other people, and leaves his kids without the legacy, whatever's done is done. And Chachamim are not happy with him. Rashbag says, if his children weren't behaving correctly, it's good for him that he disinherited them. Okay. He by the way asked the question, Mi Peligi Rabashbag ben Gamliel. Did Rashbag argue with Tanakama? Meaning, does he agree with him that it's bad if it's regular kids, or he's adding on that if it's good, that it's not good kids? There's a guy named Yosef ben Yoezer who had a kid. He wasn't behaving good. He had a bag of coins, gold coins. He said, you know what, I'm making it Hekdesh. So his son doesn't get it. Meanwhile, the son married the daughter of King Yanai's crown guy, crown maker. They had a child. He bought a fish for her. While he opened it, he found a jewel. His wife told him, don't bring to the king because they'll buy it off you for a cheap price. Go to the Bet HaMikdash treasurers because they're trustworthy. Don't offer them a price first, because then your declaration for non-kosher things is non-hekdesh things is a declaration for kadosh things, meaning whatever price you tell the Bet HaMikdash you have to sell it for. So don't offer it. Let them tell you how much it's worth. Amte, very smart woman. He brought the jewel to them. Shamul betlesar ila aitin. They said it's 13 purses of gold coins. Amle, they told him, Sheva ika, we only have 7 here. Shit leka, we don't have 6 more that you need. Amar lehu, told him, Sheva havli, you don't give me 7 that you have. Shita harehim, with the shugla shemaim, and 6, don't give me a refund. Those 6 should be hekdesh. Amdu v'katvu, they wrote down, Yosef and Yezer echnis achat. Yosef and Yezer brought in 1 purse of dinars. Yani the father, Ubno and his son donated 6. Vigdam, a different version, Yosef ben Yoezer echnis achat. Yosef ben Yoezer brought 1. Ubno ati sheva, but his son took out 7. Wait, the second way was a negative way that he didn't leave them any change. According to the first version, since it says that he brought in the money into it, sounds like Yosef ben Yoezer brought 1. He did a good job. He disinherited his son. Or says, I don't know. The fact that the second version said that his son took out the money, it's like he did not do a good job. We can't prove anything because we're not sure which version we're going to. Whereas Marvila was Tashma, that one that Shmuel Refuda, Shmuel told the Shmuel, not a sharp one. Don't be at a place where inheritance is being transferred out of the family. Even if it's a bad child to a good child. Even from a son to a daughter, don't be there. Obviously, we don't approve of giving it inheritance to not to the correct people. Okay, so we're on. Maaseh bet Machad is a guy. Shloya Bani Banav Nohagin Kashari wasn't behaving. The sons weren't behaving well. Amad Vutav Nechsad Uziel. He decided to write his property to Yonatan ben Uziel. Maaseh and Uziel. What did the others do? Machar Shlish. He sold 30%. The Shlish, the second 30% being Hekdesh. And he gave that last 30% back to the guy's sons. Shammai traveled with his staff and his bag to bash Jonathan. Amalai told him, Shammai, if you are able to get a refund, that which I sold and that which I gave Hekdesh, you can also get a refund on that which I gave his sons. Meaning, you can't stop me from giving back. His way of saying, I received the property, I could do whatever I want. I could give back to the kids. I could have given 100% back to the kids. So the same way you can't get a refund on the money that the items that I sold or the money that I made Hekdesh. So you also can't get a refund on the property now that I gave back to the boys. Amar Shammai said, Hetiyah halai ben Azai, ben Uziel, Hetiyah halai ben Uziel, you're abusing me. And he agreed. What should I really hold initially? He said that maybe you can't give it back because of the famous story. The Mishnah says, "There's a story. The guy said that his father is not allowed to have hana from him, and he was marrying off his son. So what did he do? He wanted his father to attend his grandson's party. So he said to his neighbor, the wedding hall and the food is you as a gift. But I want you to have it so that you could allow it belongs to you, so that my father could come and enjoy the seudah because it doesn't belong to me anymore. The neighbor said to him, Im shalihin of their mind, Harehin mutashim of they are now hekdesh. Amarlo, the guy says to him, I didn't give it to you to make it hekdesh. Amarlo, he says back to him, he says, yes, the problem was that you told me that I have to use it so that your father can come eat by the party, which means you didn't really mean it, give it to me, which means if I would have made the party, your father would have eaten and you would have gotten Avidah. Right? It's like a famous thing, like, a big tzaddik gives $100 to somebody, that guy gives money to tzedakah. What are you doing? I didn't give it to you for that. Oh, that means you didn't really give it to him. Once you give it to the guy, it should be over. Amru said, any gift that if the guy can't make it Hekdesh, and it's Hekdesh, that's not a good gift. So we see over here by Yonatan Uziel as well. It's the guy never said, don't give it back to my sons. Therefore, he's able to give back. Shemanim Hillel Zaken had 80 students. 30 of them were as big tzaddikim that have the Shekhinah on them like Moshe. 30 of them were able to make the sun stop like Yehoshua ben Nun did. 20 were in between. The greatest was Yochanan ben Uziel. The smallest one was Yochanan ben Zakkai. Amru Alav Ab Yochanan ben Zakkai. they said about Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai, which was technically the least. Shalom Nech Mikra Mishnah Gemara. He mastered Torah, Mishnah, Gemara, Halachot, Agadot. Sorry, Halachot, Agadot, Dikdutei Torah, V'dikdutei Sefrim. He understood the grammatical learnings. V'kalim Hamarim Gzat Shavot. Kal V'chomer Gzat Shavot. V'tukufot. The astronomy, the gematrias, mishlot kofsim, mishlot shualim, the mashals of all different types. Sichat shindalet v'sichat dekalim v'sichat mahasheret. He knew how to speak the speech of the demons. He knew all the intricacies of farming and planting. And he also knew how to control angels. V'davar gadol v'davar katan. He knew big stuff and small stuff. Davar gadol, what does that mean? Maaseh merkava is referring to Maaseh merkava, the stuff that happens next to the Kizakavot. And the small thing, he understood all the conversations between the Bayin and Rava. Like Yamashnemar takes to fulfill the Pasuk, he's relieving those a big reward and filling their storehouses with reward. That's how big they to the kingdom where they had zechut. That was the smallest one. If Yochanan Zakkai was the smallest one, so for sure Yochanan Zakai was the greatest. Imagine how big he was. Yochanan Zakai said about him, whenever he sat and learned Torah, famously, any bird that flew over him was burnt. Amen. Amen.